of our fall concert is Hymn to Freedom. And when looking for the theme, I was, I normally let the music kind of guide where we're going. I look for something that kind of anchors us together. And when I was told that one of our longest serving board members, Bill Batt, who actually helped found the choir, was going to step down from the board after serving basically for 35 years in some capacity for ICC, that I thought, a fitting tribute to him would be his favorite song, which is Hymn to Freedom. And so that became the driving force behind the theme of the concert. But then we kind of went through the summer and we had a lot of the discussions about equality and justice in the world. And so I thought Hymn to Freedom is even more apparent now and something we really need to talk about. But instead of looking at just using that as the basis, really looking at the text to Hymn to Freedom and looking at what is a hymn to us, with a song of praise, and then what truly is freedom for people, and playing off of those words, we picked repertoire that really talks about that we're excited and we're passionate in singing these songs of praise, and yet these are songs that mean we are unrestrained and unrestricted in what we're able to do, and that we have the freedom to go forward and do amazing and incredible things. So that's sort of the genesis behind the concert.
This is such a learning curve for all of us. I've had so many teacher friends, including a lot of us here, that say, I feel like a first-year teacher all over again because the learning curve is so steep. I've been so proud of the singers and the parents with how quickly they've been able to adapt, because the key word, of course, is adaption. And for some of us, including myself, for some of us, adaption is harder than it is for other people. This particular concert, if you can call it a concert, has been really actually enjoyable to get ready for, because it's a frame of reference. It's a paradigm shift, because instead of thinking you're performing for an audience live, you're performing for an entire room that is empty. So to be able to give the singers that chance of filling that room up and using their imaginations to realize how important that energy is and the message that they have to get across has been challenging, but absolutely amazing to see them achieve. Because they have to learn how to adapt too. As young as they are, we all have to learn to adapt in this new environment that we're in.
Well, it's obviously been a challenge because we are wearing masks and we're standing farther apart than normal. Our groups are rehearsing in smaller groups than we usually do, but at the same time, we've been given an opportunity to really work more intensely on the music. And so there have been some blessings in disguise with all of this too. And so coming together today for the first time as a large organization has been really exciting for everyone, for the kids, for the directors, for all of the staff, to finally hear everybody standing together and singing together for really the first time since all of this started. I think the most exciting thing has been that they're in uniform again. This has been the first time that has happened since March, and they're together as a group that is whole and in uniform and truly unified again, brought together again for the first time in so long. And so that has really given a lot more to the way they're sounding today for the concert, which is exactly what it's all about. And it's just so great to be back in it and see that magic happening again.
Rehearsals have been different. Talking with the kids, I think the people that have the most difficulty with the rehearsals are the directors, because we're so used to doing the same thing to create a concert. And the kids, I think we forget, kids are very versatile and they're flexible in what they do, and they adapt very quickly. So we moved to shorter rehearsals plus an online rehearsal, and then we had to, because of capacity restrictions with our rehearsal rooms, we went to smaller groups. And so that's been very different. I think that today, when we're bringing the people in, normally it's our BLC choirs that hear the full group for the first time at the dress rehearsals. And now it's almost every ensemble to hear all of them put together, unless we've been able to put them in a park pavilion or another facility. I think that's been the biggest thing, is to really wrap our head around what the sound's really going to be like for the recordings today.
Well, at first it was kind of a learning curve, just learning, especially if it's a new platform that you're not used to, learning where to click and where to look and those kind of things. But again, even with that, it's still been a way to connect, because there's some students I haven't seen physically, because again, their families totally understand, don't feel comfortable being in person. So if we didn't even have that option, they wouldn't be a part of the group at all. And so thankfully we have those. But at the beginning it was a challenge, just because of the learning curve of understanding how to get signed up and where to go and all those kind of things. But as of course with anything, the more you practice with something, the more comfortable you get with it. So we're getting that rhythm, getting that routine of making sure that we're logged in and connected. And I guess another challenge is we can't necessarily sing as well together when we're online. So trying to do some other music educational type activities where we're still growing in their music education, but not in the traditional sense of what we would normally do in the classroom setting. So that's been a different dynamic.
Well, this year has had its battles of obstacles. One just being where we could rehearse with the kids, being that we needed to have safe places where they could be open aired and possibly aerosol breaks and things like that. So the process was just finding the location of where we were going to go. But once we had the location, was just kind of learning what was new about the location that we were at. Like in particular, where I'm at in Hendricks County, we're actually at a park, which is fantastic for the aerosol breaks. But it has its challenges with the things and distractions that are at a park. And the kids have really grown above that. They have really grown to basically learn to watch the director. They have learned to listen to each other more. Being 6 feet apart has not really made them 6 feet apart at heart. These kids have really joined together and been able to pull a fantastic product out for our first concert.
To pivot to an online concert, a virtual concert, we've done a lot of meetings with Kate, our artistic manager, who handles the visual production and helps me manage all the conductors and instrumentalists, and then talking with our camera crew and the production company that we've hired, and what's the best angles for us to get, how should we have the room set up, capturing the sound, then bringing in our virtual people and how to actually make them feel a part of it and capture their sound, put that all together. It's not the same way of, hey, show up in your uniform, we're going to place you on the risers and we're going to do a sound check and then we go. Here it's multiple takes and making sure everyone's focused and everything is quiet and there's no coughing, and it's a very different experience. At the same time, it's incredibly energizing, I think, not only for the directors but the kids to be able to do this. We're able to capture the sound and we're going to be able to put it out there as recordings that you can listen to in your car now. And so we'll have a different presence. It's also the ability for us to reach an audience that maybe we haven't reached before. So maybe you wouldn't get in the car and drive to St. Luke's or Hilbert. Or maybe your grandparents or aunts and uncle have never heard a singer sing. Now they have the ability to hear one of their concerts, which they're so proud of. So it's stressful in a new way, yet very exciting.